Alright guys, this is Mike from Boyer Bows. As you can see, when I left you last time, I have since tapered down reduced the bellies of the bow. That's what I'm trying to say. I've reduced the bellies. It is only barely bending at the moment, floor tillered. You can see how much wood I've left on the static limb. They're pretty narrow right now. Let me give you a look at how this turned out. Here's the handle. There's the belly. And there's the static limb. Now, as far as how wide these limbs are, I'm going to say about 1.5 inches at the handle, and slowly tapering down to the tips, which are very thin. This little apparatus I have here is, I guess, called a jig. And what we're going to do here, you'll see I've kind of cut a bunch of holes for a different type of bow in here. We're not doing this shape. What we're basically doing here is reflexing or recurving the tips of this bow. So, I have a little brace there just to hold it down. But I didn't start there. I started at the other end. Now I want you to. I got a bird's eye view for you here. Here it comes. That was the belly. Now we're getting into the static limb. I'll back up a little bit here. And that's where we're going to end up. Now at the moment, I don't know if it's going to be a full recurve or if it's just a reflexed tip. That will be determined by whether or not the string touches the belly of the bow at the conclusion of this build. What did I use to do this? Well, basically I'd used my heat gun. Now there's a lot of different ways you can heat up the wood. Osage is extremely bendable, and the neat thing is I'm going to undo the clamps here in a second, and I'll show you how well this thing holds on to its shape once it cools off. As soon as it's cooled off, you can remove it. Now, even with all the bending potential, I want to give you guys a look here. You can see a little bit of the static limb lifted up, right at the apex of the curb. There's a little lift there. A little lift there, and you can see it even charred the edges when I heated it up. Little baby, maybe a crack there, and there's obviously a lift there. Now that's from me violating rings on the belly. Well, I don't really care if I violate rings on the belly, so I expect this. The neat thing is there's so much wood here still that I'm just going to sand those off, and this is still going to be a very static, unbending. It isn't going to compromise anything at all. It's just something I have to take care of when I'm done. Or probably once I get this thing off the jig. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just back up a little bit. I'm going to set this little gohickey on the floor. Make sure you guys can see. Yep, alright. And we'll come over here. Let's undo her. I knew this one's going to be a little bit, this one sort of is supported by the other stuff, so I knew that was going to come off real easy. This one's tighter. Now watch the spacing here on the wood. You'll see how much it comes up off the jig. I'm just trying to gently do this. I want it to hold it. Oh, there we go. It didn't come up that much. A little bit, but not much. The rest of these should be pretty solid. And that one came right off. There's another one. And the last one here. not too shabby. Alright, let's get this one over here. We're off. And that's what we're left with. A nice little reflexed tip. Not huge curve, but a nice curve. And I'll make it look pretty when I'm done. See, the back got charred a little bit, but not charred. It got toasted. I don't think you would call that char. I think it's just a little discoloration. Sand right off. I don't really think it matters. Again, that's not moving. So we're going to end up with a nice reflex tip on this. And there you go. So, wide shot. And I'm pretty pleased with that. I'll have to do some sanding. It still is twisted a little bit on down that end, but I expected that. That was there beforehand. Looks like what I need to do is just a little more creative sanding to get it right. Because once again, this is static, so I don't have to worry about it bending in a funny direction because it's twisted. Anyway, that's the bending portion of the show. I'm going to stop this one here and do one more bending where I get this thing on the jig. I'll show you how I do it. That'll be the next video. Please tune in. Same bat time, same bat channel. This is Mike from Boyer Bows. Please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel and all of that sort of propaganda. Alright, talk to you guys later. I'll be doing that other video right now as well.